Finding the best accommodation for your next trip is a very key part of your trip. It can literally make or break your trip, which is why I am here once again, guys, to give you guys tips on how you can actually find that perfect hidden gem accommodation for your next trip. Before I go further, let me ask you guys to click on that subscribe button so you can actually get more tips, more information on travel and tourism within Lagos, within Nigeria, within Africa, and within the rest of the world. Yes, I give you guys all the tips you need to know about traveling to different locations. I also show you different locations so you can experience them virtually and have an idea of what these locations entail. Now today, guys, today's topic, we're talking about getting the perfect accommodation for your next trip, because trust me, a terrible accommodation can literally make or break your next trip. Forgetting the whole tourism, the fun of visiting a new location, you got to come back and put your head down and sleep for a bit. Now if I come back after the busy day and my day, I'm stressed out and whatever, and I have to maybe pass through River Niger to get to my location, or there's a lot of noise in my neighborhood, or the place is just not aesthetically pleasing at all, I might be put off for the amount of days I'm actually going to be there. So guys, I want to make sure that you don't have to go through that, which is why I'm giving you guys some tips that you need to get the perfect accommodation. Number one is research. Guys, this is the most important step. Now, I'm not even saying that you should go to a library and research all the hotels in that place, or go on Google and search every single hotel in that particular location. No, there are ways to actually conduct research that is not very stressful. The first way is to reach out to people that stay there or people who have gone there, so you can figure out where they stayed and what they get, like first-hand reviews of those locations. The next stage, or the next way, is to actually just use those sites that are meant for travel and tourism. Guys, these sites include like Expedia, they include Airbnb, booking.com, hotel.com, Waka Now, Travel Start, Travel Better. Guys, these sites are literally built to help you find the perfect accommodation. They give you every information you need to know about whatever location, what accommodation you're looking for. They have a list of accommodations. You get to see the pictures and you get to see what these places are offering and how much it costs per night. Literally every question you have about these places are literally on those sites. And if it's the Shortlet, you can use Airbnb, Shortlet places like Airbnb. Now, these ones even allow you to communicate with the host, so that it's even easier for you to get more information on these locations. They're not there for decoration, guys, so use them. These are perfect research tools for you to find it. Another thing you need to note, which is my point number 2, is that when you're doing your research, you need to make sure that location is very important. Guys, one thing that people fail to do, which is why most people don't always end up in a great location, is you don't check the location. Because it's a popular name does not mean that it is easily accessible. For example, if anybody goes to Ibadan in Nigeria, for example, and the first place you decide to stay is IITA, you need to understand that IITA is like 40 minutes, maybe 30 minutes away from the center of town. Do you understand? Which means it is inside. If you're going to IITA, your plan is to actually just stay within IITA, because coming out and finding the next place, it's really far. Do you understand? And so because of that, I always say research your location, because as aesthetically pleasing as some of these hotels and Shortlets actually look, the locations might not be very favorable or safe. It might be a very noisy environment or a very bad neighborhood, so you cannot really walk at night. It might be terrible, very far from the center of town, so you'll be spending a lot of money on transportation. How do you do research on location? Number one, I use Google Maps. So what I do is if I check for a particular accommodation and I like this accommodation, I check where it is on Google Maps. And before that, I've already gone on Google to check for the safest places to stay within those places, or I already have a list of places I'm going to visit, so I know where they're located and I know the areas that are actually close to them. So when I check online, when I check the accommodation, the map for the accommodation, where the accommodation is located on the map, and it seems very far from places I'm going to visit, or it seems like, or people were really complaining that this is not a very safe neighborhood, or it is very, people said it's secluded, or I see it's within an estate. Most times I don't go for that. I like to be in the center of town so I can find everything I want to find very easily, and like strolling, just by strolling. So for me personally, I prefer to actually do my research on location. It is very important to make sure that your accommodation is in a safe yet very good neighborhood. So guys, number 2 is definitely research your location. Number 3 is reach out to people that actually stay in the area. You have to reach out to people that stay in the area so you can actually find out where they think is the best places to stay within there. You can also check out influencers, content creators. Check out my page, because these people usually have collaborations with hotels and accommodations, and they can let you know. You can virtually see these accommodations and you can virtually judge it yourself. Final tip, which is a bonus one, is determine what exactly you're going to be doing in the accommodation. For example, if I'm going to an accommodation, right, and that doesn't have a pool, you will not see me there, because I always want to swim whenever I am not going out or I am not touring the environment. I always want to make sure I'm able to swim. So a location that has amenities you want is very necessary. So you're not just looking for a location to sleep, guys. You're looking for a location that makes you relax after touring the environment. And you got to keep that in mind for your next trip. So guys, I hope I've been able to help somebody that is going on their next trip. If you need a link to some of these places, because some of these places actually do have like affiliate links that give you like some discounts when you click on it, I would include them in my description so that you can actually click on these links and get your own discount when you're trying to book your next trip. However, even if you are not booking your next trip, you can also say these things just so that you can actually keep them in mind when you're going on the next trip. Don't forget to also follow me at Miss Niniola on all platforms, because of the fact that I do also try to make sure that I give as much information on different locations and accommodations as possible. And don't be shy. You can also DM me at any time. I give you as much information on places I have been to by myself. So with that, guys, if you haven't yet, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel. If you found this video helpful, subscribe to this channel. If you didn't find it helpful, still subscribe to this channel. You might find the next one helpful. All right, guys, so thank you guys so much for paying attention to this video. I will be coming back again with more tips, more information on my next video. Thank you, guys. We'll talk in the next video. This is me signing out. Ciao.